Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Amateur Otaku Podcast. How is everybody doing out there? I am Brandon Alvarado, the Scarlet Fan here, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Periscope. Everybody on Twitter. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Amateur Otaku Podcast. We're really excited to be here and talk anime with you guys, but as you know, I am not here by myself. I am accompanied by the one, the only, the mad Isak Wolf. What's up, man?
I need to work on my drawing skill.
Oh boy. So you are aware this is an audio format, so nobody can really see your... wait, actually, let me take that back. I'm not even going to say it. Isak, your drawings would just give us nightmares.
Exactly.
Okay, so that was your point? Scaring me by the thought of your drawings?
Exactly.
Well, I'm glad that we're in agreement. My brother, how you doing? How's it been?
I'm doing good. Just a bit tired, but I'm doing good.
Awesome. We're back at the Amateur Otaku. Isak, we had a great time last episode talking about Pokemon Twilight Wings on YouTube. We had a great chat about Pokemon, and it was a bonus episode. It's that. So you guys got to keep an eye on the YouTube channel, the Amateur Otaku, because whenever we have an opportunity to record a bonus episode on any kind of content, we will 100% record it and make sure that you guys hear about it, because we want to cover as much content as we can, but we're starting small because we want to make sure that we build consistency so people can find out about us and so that you can see what we're all about and you can share with your friends. So if you like what we're doing here at the Amateur Otaku so far, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel at the Amateur Otaku, and more importantly, don't forget to click on the bell for notifications. Set it so you get all the notifications of every time we're going to post a video, every time we're going to do a live stream. Every time we do a live stream, whether it's a bonus or a regular weekly live stream, we will always put up the video link so you guys can set a reminder so you don't miss any of our live streams. And we will always let you know what we're going to be watching next week, because more than anything, we want to talk about all this awesome content that we're covering with you guys. So those that have been with us so far in the podcast, on Twitter, and on the YouTube channel since it started, thank you so much for being awesome and for subscribing. And for those that are joining us for the first time, welcome. Isak, more people are coming in. This is growing. This is awesome, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Isak, what are we talking about today? What is our topic of discussion that we've shared with our viewers?
We're talking about the live-action adaptation of Bleach, or more importantly, one of the first arcs of Bleach, more importantly.
Now, those that know about live-action adaptations or adaptations in general of any book or manga know that a lot of times with adaptations, it can be okay, it can be really bad, but sadly, especially with anime, it's rarely very good. So we're going to try and distill what makes this adaptation unique, special, but more importantly, we want to give you enough information that will motivate you to go see it. Because I think it's safe to say, and this is not a spoiler, Isak, this is one of the better adaptations out there.
For me personally, it's the best one. But
really?
Yeah, but like I said on the stream on Geekly Goods that we are part of, shout out to Geekly Goods and Leon and all his crew. But yeah, I have a soft spot for Bleach, which is why it ended up the better for me. If my podcast taste on Bleach was on par with Alita, I would probably say that Alita was the better one.
It's funny because I know for a fact that the only reason Alita's not higher on the list is because of that guy, huh?
No, no.
Okay.
Just because of the spot of Bleach. I genuinely like the manga.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's start with that before we jump into the adaptation. You say you have a soft spot. I forgot how to talk. Soft spot for Bleach. Why? What's your relationship with Bleach? Did you start with the anime? Did you start with the manga? What got you hooked with it? And why is this why is it an anime why is it a series that you hold close to your chest?
I don't know, because it was sort of like how should I put it? It was sort of like the first anime I saw with my little sister.
Oh wow. How old were you and how old was your sister?
I can't remember now, but it was a while.
Okay.
So
Do you own the whole series?
no, not yet.
Okay. Are you collecting both the anime and the manga?
Yes, right now only the manga.
Okay. So you're collecting it, but you've already read it all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading the information. It's 74 volumes. That's quite a bit.
Or should I say I converted the digital to physical, so to speak.
It's funny. Everybody's going from physical to digital, but you're a true collector. You're going from digital to physical.
Yeah. I mean, I'm almost done with the Promised Neverland manga, but that's another story.
Nice. I think that manga just wrapped, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. I'm now excited because Attack on Titan is about to wrap very soon, and I've been I think that's one of the first mangas to a degree that I've read to completion. Not that I've read everything, but I've seen everything and I've read everything from the moment that the season ended, the last one. So I'm pretty caught up with the story. So I'm really excited. But yeah, man, that's nice. I find it special, Isaac, that some of the series and animes that you hold dear is because you have shared them with your family members. Like you talked about Pokemon and your grandfather, you talked about Bleach now and your sister, and I like how the best media or the things that we love the most a lot of times are things that we can share with those that we care about with, you know. I would like to say that I have a connection like that with anime, but that's one of the reasons why, for example, you and I get along so well, because we find this anime bridge where we can talk about these particular quirks and ideas and way of expression that anime is. So that's pretty cool. Now my relationship to Bleach, I'm gonna be honest. I think I've only know of Bleach because I was looking for something to watch. I was watching good anime. I didn't know what Bleach was, and I just started watching it one day, and I got pretty hooked. Because like many shonen anime, it starts. It's all about build up. It's all about power ups. It's all about. It feels like the Dragon Ball Z formula and stuff like that. But to me, I think this what makes every shonen anime special is that all the characters are relatable and the angle is different. And I think the angle of Bleach is very particular and the mythology is very rich, which is why I think I was hooked with the series. Because Bleach is one of those shows that you know how you can have an anime where power-ups occur and it kind of feels like it came out of nowhere and you never feel satisfied with the explanation of why this power-up happened.
Oh, trust me.
Yeah,
That has happened more than once.
right. Which is one of the downfall of many shows. Bleach doesn't have that problem because every time there's a new mechanic or a new technique, there is this foundational mythology that explains it. And I liked how, for example, you know how most animes, either the main character or someone the main character knows is like, he's the only one that can do X or Y, Z thing. Ichigo is one of many. And what separates him from the rest is his heart, is his spirit, is his determination, is the love that he has for those that he cares about. And I like how that defines the Soul Reaper that he is and the hero that he is. But he's still in this world with all this variety, that even when you have episodes that have nothing to do with him, and when they're not filler, even if they have nothing to do with him, they're very interesting because all the characters are interesting and unique in their own way. I think this is one of the most varied. I think the only one that I can compare it to is Naruto. Like, everybody has like their own technique, right?
No, I wouldn't call it even close to Naruto.
Well, not close.
But, dude, we are talking about the show on a later date. Now let's focus on the live-action movie.
Thank you for setting me straight, Isaac. But yes, that's what I like about Bleach. So Isaac, I think, how about I'm going to read a summary of the movie, or at least what the movie or what the show is about, and then you can tell us your thoughts on the movie. Cool? Okay, so here's a brief summary of what Bleach is about. The live-action movie. Based on the popular manga and anime of the same name by manga illustrator and writer Tite Kubo, Bleach follows 15-year-old Ichigo Kurosaki as he survives high school while moonlighting as a substitute Soul Reaper. If being able to see ghosts from a young age wasn't enough, Ichigo's innate spiritual abilities make him the ideal meal for the deadly spirits that roam the shadows known as hollows. Not known as someone that would back off from a fight, it is up to Ichigo and his friends to hone their skills and protect their town and those they love against the monsters that stand against them. This is Bleach, and this is pretty much in a nutshell what you see occur in the movie. Bleach, the movie, covers a amalgamation of the first couple of story arcs that happen in the first 20 to 30 episodes. Does that sound about right, Isaac?
Yeah.
And I think it does it in a very particular way, the way they tie all those threads together. But before we break the movie down, Isaac, you saw the movie. You've seen the movie now how many times?
Twice, and the first time I watched it was to write a review for Wodan.
Oh, sweet. That review is still live, right?
Yeah, that review is still live.
So when this episode premieres on our channel as a regular video, we're gonna make sure to add to the description the link so you guys can read Isaac's review on Bleach. Go on, Isaac.
Yeah, and my thoughts about that movie is that I sincerely love it because when it comes to live action adaptation, no matter if it's Western or Asian live action adaptation, it feels like they're imagine sort of like Western's Godzilla. They're focusing too much on the human aspect than the Godzilla aspect, but here they are. But in the adaptations, they're trying to focusing more on the. They're turning down what makes the anime and just to break down the cost. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it's like the big thing with Godzilla. I think Godzilla is the perfect analogy of anime adaptations done right and anime adaptations done wrong. I think that's the best thing you could have ever said. So the thing with Godzilla is that Godzilla in the Western audiences it's all about the human drama, and Godzilla is just a monster that happens. But in the Japanese version, Godzilla is this force of nature that is supposed to mimic what nuclear fallout and stuff like that. Like, it's supposed to be an imagery for something that affected the culture, that affected the country, right?
Yeah.
And I think the best way, the simplified version of this argument is that some adaptations just simply miss the point. They think that the idea of an adaptation is to make these characters feel like real human beings, when sometimes the best adaptation is what feels, that something that shares the essence or the feeling of what you're trying to adapt. You know what I mean? Like for example, I think another good example, and I'm taking your Godzilla thing for a spin. How many people cried wolf whenever Hugh Jackman was cast as Wolverine?
A ton.
Why? Because he was too tall, he was too pretty. Yes, I said he's pretty. But you know what I mean? But as soon as he presented himself and he acted on X-Men, you will never think that he's not Wolverine. He is Wolverine. Like, there is no other person that could have played that role, or anybody else for that matter that we can imagine ever playing that role, because he captured everything that we love about that character. That's an adaptation that we can applaud. And I think that's what makes you happy about this movie, because I think if anybody were to ask me why this adaptation is special, I would say because it feels like Bleach.
Exactly. It's like the Japanese version of Godzilla, so to speak.
What was that again?
It's the Japanese version of Godzilla, so to speak.
Yep.
Then again, the Japanese anime adaptation aren't always the most brilliant one. Looking at Full Metal Alchemist and Attack on Titan one, although
yes, some Japanese versions make mistakes. It's like for example, one of the main. I'm gonna make a confession. I know you sadly saw Dragon Ball Evolution when it came out.
I saw that opening night, but okay.
I've never seen it, but from the little that I've seen, I know that one of the main problems that movie has is that they show Goku going to school.
Yeah, but
which just makes sense. But for example, the thing about Bleach is they.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking it back. Don't worry, I'm not derailing everything. I promise. The thing about Bleach that makes sense is that they take all the elements that make this story feel like Bleach. Like, you have Ichigo with the orange hair, and it looks believable. You have the fact that he goes to school and the relationship that he has with the classmates. You have the relationship with his father. By the way, was I the only one that burst out laughing when they actually pulled off the fact that his father bullies him?
I wouldn't say bully him, but
right. Yeah, you're right. But
he wants his son to be able to what was it? What's the word? He can. What's the word again? Defend himself and all that.
Yeah, but the way he does it, bro, like, and it's funny because I was actually expecting the dad to hit him, but then again,
how long have you read/seen Bleach?
Well, I've seen enough to know the father's past.
Then you know why he does that. Then you know exactly why he does that.
Yeah, but still, it's like, how can that be normal? Like, I don't want to get home and my dad punch me in the throat. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a shonen anime, and they wanted some comedic relief.
yes, but the fact that they were able to translate that and have me burst out laughing from the movie, that's an achievement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I knew it was gonna happen, but the fact that they did it, they just did it, and it works. And I like how their dynamic is. I like how his sister Yuzu and Karen tell his dad, like, you're stupid, like, like literally tell the dad he's stupid. But it's like so many elements, and you brought the favorite one because you mentioned it on the tweet. Isaac, what is one of the best moments where we know that this is Bleach? What do we see?
It is when one of the main characters, one of her traits is that when she explains stuff, she do very bad drawings, and
It's all about bunnies. It's always bunnies.
my honest, I have no recognition.
Neither do I. Neither do I. But yes, like one of the coolest things about Rukia is that even though Rukia, of course, is the Soul Reaper that Ichigo encounters, and that shares part of her energy to Ichigo, making him a substitute Soul Reaper. So the thing about Rukia, which is so funny, is like Rukia is like the toughest nails, like, I don't know, like the strictest person ever. But at the same time, she's this bubblegum princess when it comes to her drawings. And of course, she does all this with a straight face.
Exactly.
And what I love the most is how they took a quote directly from the anime where there's no video. All you see is animation of the drawings talking with her voiceover. That was freaking magic. And when I saw that, it made me think like the director of the film. His name was, I'm looking for the name, Director Shinsuke Sato. He hasn't done a lot of anime movies, but the director of the film, he also wrote part of the screenplay. He got it. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
he got it. He got what he needed to do. Like, an anime movie has to do one thing. It doesn't matter. Like, you can argue that because, to be honest, I mean, the special effects in the movie are good.
Yeah.
But we've seen better. You know, it's not like something out of this world. I'm not watching Infinity War or something. You know what I mean? But yeah, they're good. They're good. I mean, the hollows, even though we know it's CGI, they look like hollows. They look like hollows should look. And the fact that they chose to not hide under fancy CGI and at least give us something that we could recognize, that's a brave move. Because you know that a lot of people will go like, oh, that design looks a little bulky or whatever. But no, they look like what they're supposed to look like.
And yeah, from speaking from your perspective about it needs to feel like the anime. They are making some liberties in the story. They do that.
Yeah.
But it's still... but that's okay because they make it work and feel like Bleach, which is arguably the most important part.
And the hardest part too.
Because how should I put it? Go on. I can return to that topic if I can find the words.
Well, what probably is going to happen, Isaac, like most of the times, is I'm going to keep talking, and then you're going to say, "That's what I meant." Okay, cool. Let's. Because for some reason you always tell me that I take the words right out of your mouth. It's like you're using your magical Soul Reaper powers to send your thoughts in Swedish into my mind. And Okay, I'm lost. So, but yes, but yes, this movie captures all the essence of the show. Like the humor is there, the characters feel like the characters that should be. One of the things that I love about the most is the fact that, which is the hardest thing, Rukia feels like Rukia, Ichigo feels like Ichigo, and that relationship of Rukia and Ichigo makes you feel like you're watching the show. And that's what you want. Again, they're the ones that have the most screen time. So every time they're together, especially the way they riff off each other, it feels authentic. By the way, one of the best moments for me was when they do like literally panel per panel what Rukia does when she comes in for the first time. She gives them the book and it says, "Make a scene and you're dead." That one was good. And then the other one when she goes into the classroom and punches him. And she goes, "Oh no, Ichigo, you got a stomach ache." And his friend goes, "She punched him." Like little moments like that. It's like, you know that the person that made this movie doesn't only like Bleach, they like anime, and they know how to create those give and take moments, right? They know how to build those scenes for it to feel that way. Which is one of the reasons, for example, we've talked, I think one of the things that I've talked to you in the past, that I kind of started watching the Mob Psycho show and then I had to stop because it was horrible. That's one of the reasons why I didn't like the show, because they just made it a Korean drama for romance, and that's not what Mob Psycho is. Yes, there is a little bit about him wanting to win the girl, but it's not about winning the girl. It's about him being better and becoming confident to win the girl. So it's all about him. It's not about the girl. But they lost the essence of it. But here,
okay, good.
No, go ahead.
I was just afraid that you were going off track again.
No, trust me. Ever since that first alert that you gave me, I can see your eyes as guardrails. Don't worry, you're keeping me from the deep end, Isaac. Today I'm the insane one, I promise. But yeah, like the thing with the movie that's so good is that if you want, Rukia is strict and playful. Ichigo is determined and emotional. By the way, the guy that plays Ichigo, that kid, Sota Fukushi, is fantastic. I
would say that everyone is fantastic in the role.
Well, you know what? The only one that to me didn't click, and I don't know if it was because of the material that they gave him or the angle that they wanted him to play. I didn't really dig the guy that played Renji. Like he played it very bloodthirsty.
I mean, he is sort of cocky.
Well, no, right. Cocky is one thing. Bloodthirsty is another.
I mean, he underestimates Ichigo and.
Oh yeah. But he in the original, he shows a lot more concern for Rukia. Like here, he was ready to just do what the captain said and just offer. You know what I mean?
True.
And to me, that's kind of like, like I would have liked to see more struggle from his end, because that's one of the things that's very important for his arc. What leads him to become a good friend to Ichigo, and at the end up with Rukia, which I know that happens, is the fact that he struggles with what is right and what is wrong, and why Rukia is making these decisions, and why should I consider what Rukia is trying to do. You know what I mean? And like yes, they put the seeds of like That's the other thing that this movie does very well. It plants the seeds to the entire Bleach mythology.
Yeah, and
Which,
please a sequel, Warner Brothers.
yes, like you have the whole thing, and I like how everything is shared in like digestible beats. Like it doesn't feel like an overload of exposition.
Yeah,
It feels like you're able to digest every new concept little by little.
exactly.
And that makes it very like they don't over explain things. Like I like how they didn't take the time to explain the red glove. Did you notice that they never explained what it does? They just showed you what it does.
Explaining the red glove is pretty unnecessary in my book.
No, it is. Like in the anime, they explain it. But in the movie, they just show you what it is because that's the perfect kind of fan service. That's the fan service that I like. Like they don't tell you what's going on. They just show you the glove. They do the close up on the skull, and you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like
noise.
exactly. You go like, oh, I knew what you're doing. You know what I mean? And then when you see what happens, now every time you see the glove, you know what it is. That's it. It's what allows them to separate the body, blah, blah, blah. So like little things like that, they give you the glimpse of Soul Society. And I love the fact that they do it at night, so you really don't see anything, but you see enough. Because those that know recognize the cliff, which is where the great Byakuya and Ichigo fight happens.
And the actors that plays him is perfect for the part.
Yes. I do have to agree with that. The guy that plays Byakuya he looks the part, and he played the part very, very well. I still can't wait for the opportunity of seeing live action Senbon Sakura. Oh, dude, that's gonna be awesome. That would be awesome. Now, the only thing that was difficult for me to digest at times, because it's funny because it happened mostly when Ichigo was fighting Hollows, but I didn't feel that way when Ichigo was fighting Renji at the end. Is the fact that sometimes when he's fighting the CGI Hollows, he looks kind of awkward fighting with the sword. Like you're supposed like I don't know if because set design made the sword too heavy, but part of what makes Ichigo a interesting combatant is that he makes that sword feel lightweight.
I mean that's a choice they made for the movie, but just because a big deal about the movie is he needs to train, and he's training his sword skills, and
I agree.
That's why they are implemented the sword like that. And I do wonder, was Tite Kubo was he inspired by Square Enix or Squaresoft, like they were called at the time, and the Final Fantasy?
That's a very good question, because now I wonder what came first, Final Fantasy VII or Bleach?
I can check that.
I'm actually checking right now.
Okay.
No. Final Fantasy VII came first because Final Fantasy VII, I think, came out in 1996. Let me see. Final Fantasy VII, 1997. So Bleach came after.
Yeah, which begs the question if he was inspired by him, or maybe he was inspired by Berserk.
But then again, they're all like big swords, big lightweight swords. Have been an anime trope for the longest time.
Think about Berserk. He has guts as big as sword, and he can take how many? He can take so freaking much damage that is insane. Yep. Let's not kill ourselves with all.
With all
the damage that I would argue that Ichiko Kurosaki is he's known to take a lot of. I would argue that he takes much more beating than what Naruto, Dragon, Naruto, and Sangoku, Luffy, etc. has done in context of this story. I mean, Jesus Christ!
You mean in the movie?
I would speak. I would speak in the franchise overall, but yeah, also in the movie.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
no, and that has to do with. But I love how they use it in the movie to exemplify who Ichigo is. Who Ichigo is.
it's a good way to
Mm-hmm.
to in, to show the audience he is a stubborn mother. Yeah.
yeah, but also how much he cares for his friends.
I
Like
mean,
one of the things. Go ahead.
even after a fight when he gets so so much damage, his quote unquote enemies looked at him and just, what the? How are you still standing?
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys have any thoughts on the Bleach movie or in Bleach in general, please write us on the comments. At the end of the show, we're going to read your comments live and give us things to talk about the show, what you liked, what you like or didn't like about the movie. Let us know what you thought of it in the comments here below of the live stream, and we'll make sure to read them at the end of the show because we definitely want to hear what you thought about the Bleach movie. But yeah, he takes a beating, man. He takes a beating. But I like how they, like, personally, we gotta admit, the weakest part of the movie from a story standpoint, because action wise, the final the final action set pieces are pretty fantastic. But from a story standpoint, the third act is the weakest. But we gotta agree, the emotional arc of Ichigo, the struggle that he's having with, which is the struggle that he has throughout the entirety of the series, is that since he was small, he feels that he can never protect anyone, that he's always been the one being protected. And the fact that he's trying to win, not for his ego, but because he wants to be able to protect those he cares about. Like, the fact that we're able to meet that side of Ichigo, which is the side that matters, which is the side that drives everything he does through the Bleach manga. You know what I mean? Like, that's why he goes to Soul Society. That's why he goes after Orihime to what is it, Hueco Oscuro, whatever the name. You know, that's why he does all those things. And that's why his friends do those things. They do things because they want to protect those they care about. That because they're trying to protect Karakura Town, like all those things.
And there's no My Little Pony reference here. They are legitimately doing. It feels like a legitimately way they're protecting each other and all that, yes, in not just power of friendship.
Yeah, agreed. Am I the only one that was upset when Rukia had like a weird stone and not a flip phone? I don't know. I just found the flip phones to be something so peculiar of the era that Bleach came out on, that I would have liked to see that. Because one of the things that you notice, like from the Soul Society, like in the show, is that all their technology is super gross, weird, but antiquated in a cool way. You know what I mean? Like, nothing feels like technologically advanced, and I would have liked to see a little bit of that in the movie. But I see how, like, the weird stone kind of is part of that element of the mysticism of the world.
Yeah, like I told you, said earlier in the episode. For me, the most important part is that it feels like Bleach.
Yeah.
It connects. This is beat by beat, but it doesn't need to go the exact way. They
Right.
can. It's sort of like, how should I put it? Oh, comic book movies.
Mm-hmm.
They take the feeling from the comics.
Right.
But they are not in the slightest
Correct.
truthful for the source material when it comes to the stories. I mean, for starters, when it comes to Days of Future Past, the movie, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it Kid Pride that goes back
Yes.
to? Yeah, and in the movie, who is it? Yeah, Wolverine.
Yep.
That's
100%.
but it still feels like that comic.
Right.
So
100%.
Rookie not having the phone that
All that argument was to combat my problem with the phone. That was awesome. But you're right. You're 100% right. The important thing is that the movie feels Bleach, and I think that was pretty remarkable. I'm going to be honest. I enjoyed it a lot more the second time that I watched it, because I think the first time I watched it, I was like apprehensive. Like I was afraid that the movie was going to suck.
Me too.
You know? And this time, I without thinking about it, like I knew that I enjoyed it quite a bit the first time. I knew I had problems with the final act, but I knew I enjoyed it enough. This time I watched it and I loved it. Like I enjoyed it so much more. Like the first scene that you see with Ichigo beating those kids up because they knocked down the flowers of that ghost kid, which is literally the first scene of the anime. I was like, hell yeah. Yes. Hell yeah. And then, of course, the title screen. Literally, you see the name, Ichigo Kurosaki. Young boy. You know what I mean? Like the description.
Yeah.
That's like, you can't get any more anime than that. That was like, you know what I mean? Like, yes. This is what I'm watching. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is so Bleach. So Bleach.
Fun fact. When I first watched it, I saw it with my family, and mom and dad hadn't seen Bleach, and they truly enjoyed that movie too. And dad isn't exactly
nice.
the biggest fan of quote unquote anime adaptation, or should I say, anime adaptation in general. Although, which is funny considering he loves science fiction and all that in fantasy.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, this movie's something nice. I think it's something for everybody. I think it's accessible for people that have not seen Bleach. Like, this is the kind of movie that if you're a fan of Bleach, you need to see it. And if you don't know what Bleach is, it's a good place to start. Yeah. Yep. It's a great way to start because they cover a good chunk of the first arc, and then it leaves it at a point where one of the biggest arcs of the first chunk of the series, because the series is pretty long. You're talking about almost, I think it's like 380 episodes, something like that.
Minus filler episodes.
Yeah, minus the fillers.
There
and
is
like
arcs that I truly enjoy.
The first one?
No. It's the one that the swords go when the swords rebel on the sword and the soul reaper, so to speak.
Okay.
I actually think that that one was pretty good one, actually.
Yeah. I want to go back to what we talked about, how this movie sets the seeds for the future. I think the effects that they have for Uryu are fantastic. whenever he draws an arrow, it looks pretty awesome. Which is like, that's the kind of character that in the anime and the manga was designed to have like the cool factor. You know what I mean? Like he's supposed to be like, ooh, he has an arrow. Ooh, he comes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like how it has that kind of wow factor in the movie too. I like how they tease the idea of Orihime and Shad being sensitive to spiritual pressure.
I think we're going way into spoiler territory now.
Okay.
For those.
Now, I have to say this though, and this is gonna be a spoiler to a degree, but we have to say it. It'll be unfair of us to not say it. The activation of Renji's sword, that was pretty crazy.
Like I said, there's. But yeah, I agree.
Did you like it? Did you like what you saw?
Yeah,
that was one of the effects that truly shined in the best way. To me, that was one of my favorite parts of the fight. When he actually does what he does with his sword, and literally it's like, which is the equivalent of a power-up, right? In the anime.
Yeah, that's a perfect way of summarize it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And there's so many ways that power-ups in anime, because power-ups in anime are known for being over the top bombastic. Like everybody and their grandmother that don't know anime know the scene of Goku becoming Super Saiyan for the first time. Apart from the fact that it has been redone in every single video game of Dragon Ball in existence, because they always redo the Frieza Super Saiyan transformation. It's always like this big event, and it's really hard to translate that like to a movie without it feeling out of place. But the way they did it in the film with Renji's sword, that was pretty baller. It was well done. Like I was really happy with the way they did it. I'm happy that they did it too, though, because it makes you think like, okay, this has potential.
Yeah.
Which I think. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's pretty much is my worries if they are continuing it, which considering it's not only him that has
exactly
power-ups in his sword. Okay, that is sound way too off the cup.
Right. Without going into that rabbit hole, I agree. Like those kind of things, that's the movie even goes into that. Like the movie pretty much.
No, the show doesn't go darling in Franks on us.
How do you mean?
Remember what I mentioned the previous episode?
Be specific.
No.
Okay.
Why do you think I said it was too off the cup when I said sword have power-ups?
Okay. But yeah, like I really hope they make a sequel now, because of everything they set up, and I wouldn't mind to continue watching Bleach live action, especially now. One of the things that I didn't know, Isaac, and I was actually doing research a little bit before the episode, is that Tite Kubo has been against doing adaptations for a while. Like he didn't want to make Bleach movies. He didn't want it to be a thing. And apparently Warner Brothers acquired the rights to do it, so he joined in to be a consultant. But it wasn't Tite Kubo's idea to make a live-action Bleach movie. So which is why you see the cohesiveness in the film, because you can kind of see that there was involvement from the creator, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to watch more Bleach films, but let's be realistic. It was Warner Brothers that did it. Warner Brothers Japan. But when you take into consideration the fact that the movie barely broke even, that may be one of the reasons why they haven't made a sequel or announced it. But then again, the movie just came out pretty much. Like, it came out mid 2018. It's only been out for like a year and a half. To that, you can add the fact that COVID happened. So everything's stopped. So I think it's too early to say that it's never going to happen. Who knows? Maybe we just simply haven't heard. Right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the live action Attack on Titan movies, the first part. Unless they film the parts together, I think it's hope for Bleach. You know how? Let me see here.
Are you looking at like the budget or how much you're talking about the Japanese Attack on Titan movies?
Yeah, and it looked like they barely broke even too.
Oh, so what you mean is like if they didn't do them together and they still got a sequel, right? Because if they film them together, it'll be cheaper. So you think that if the first Attack on Titan got a sequel, then there's no reason why Bleach couldn't when Bleach is a good movie.
Exactly.
Well, I think just like we have like a campaign for the Alita sequel, we need a campaign for the Bleach sequel. I would even say the Bleach deserves more sequel than Alita. But that's just me. I have to say it. And the only reason I say it is because of this. Alita, yes, it needs to have a sequel because it was like the best. It's like the best. It is the best live action adaptation because it's the best looking anime adaptation because it had all the money that it needed to look amazing and believable at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like Bleach was fantastic without the Alita budget. So if we can give Bleach the Alita budget, the possibilities are endless. And the lore of Bleach it's like, because Alita is anime, Alita is manga, but it's manga with a lot of sci-fi roots attached to it. So a lot of people can just watch it as a sci-fi movie and forget that it's an anime-based thing. Bleach is pure anime. Bleach is pure manga. And not to diss Alita, but the fact that we had a pure manga movie like that and it was fantastic, I want to see more of that. Because if Bleach worked, then One Piece can make sense. Well, we haven't seen it, but you know what I mean? Like I can be more hopeful for stuff like that.
It's going to get a live action TV series from.
I know. And your favorite show too, Sword Art Online, is also getting live action series.
No problem.
By the way, the static was Isaac pulling his hairs because of me.
It was me trying to stop my
censor yourself.
Yeah, because that series is pissing me off all the time.
So you guys out there, viewers, do you guys have any comments? Anything to say about Bleach or anything to say about the Bleach movie? Let us know now in the comments below. Let us know what you think about the Bleach series or the Bleach movie. We would like to share your comments with everyone online here. I'm checking Twitter, see if anybody wrote to us. and talk to us. Let's see. Very nice. Ooh. Very nice. Okay, so nobody has commented on it, so we're not going to go over comments. But if you guys go watch the Bleach movie after this pod, go watch it and want to share your thoughts with us, leave us comments on the video. The video is going to post. Video live streams occur every Wednesday, and they go live into our podcast channel and go live on our YouTube channel as regular videos every Friday. When you see the video come up, write your comments there, because every comment that we see in the old video that has to do with the previous one, we'll read it in the next episode. Because at the end of the day, we do this to talk, to create this community, to create a conversation on great anime properties. And Isaac, this is a movie that people don't want to miss. You don't want to sleep on this.
It's certainly not a movie that is too bleak Bleach to people.
You couldn't help yourself, could you?
Yep.
So I think that's it, man. We've talked Bleach. We've talked what I thought. It's been a while since we've given a rating to any series. We haven't done that in a while, but I think it's safe to say this is definitely S-rated.
Exactly.
Definitely S-rated.
My feeling of that of the adaptation too, to be quite honest, and I don't say that lightly for an anime adaptation, especially some manga adaptation, especially from a manga that I hold dear to my heart.
And it's funny because in the future, if we ever do the live action adaptation of one of my favorite animes, this conversation is going to be completely different.
Oh, you mean that one?
Yes, and you know what? I'm not gonna hide it from people, Isaac. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna open my heart here. Okay, don't laugh. One of my favorite animes is Full Metal Alchemist, and I hate the live action adaptation.
Yep, it's a masterpiece compared to the live action Attack on Titan.
And that's saying a lot because I hate Full Metal Alchemist live action, and both of them are by Warner Brothers, right?
Yep.
Now that being said, if you guys go back to our season 1 episode, my season 1 finale, we talked about the Rurouni Kenshin movies, which is another Warner Brothers production, and those adaptations are fantastic.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, so there's a mixed bag of really bad movies, of really good movies. Isaac, I think we should cover bad movies too. So that, yeah, I mean, if we gotta suffer for the people, Isaac.
I mean,
someone has to do it.
I mean, if we can cover Sword Art Online, I guess we can cover those movies.
Wow. If we can cover End of Evangelion, we can cover those movies.
Yeah. Love that movie.
I do not. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to argue with you, my man. Because then I'm going to curse like a sailor in space.
You will love that movie after you've seen Puppet Princess.
Why do you torture me so?
Because I love it.
Okay, that's fine. End of discussion. No. but yeah, our job here at the Amateur Otaku is to introduce people to anime and to give you introductions to different shows, different series, and give you enough information so you can go check it out. Hey, if the Bleach live action movie doesn't sound like it's for you, don't watch it. But if it sounds like it's your game, go watch it. We want to hear what you think. We think that you're going to love it. If you love Naruto, if you love Dragon Ball, if you love Yu Hakusho, Bleach is one of those great shonen animes, and now it has a fantastic live action adaptation. Don't sleep on Bleach the movie. The Amateur Otaku thinks that you should go see it. Do you approve that message, Isaac?
Amen to that.
Hallelujah. So, Isaac, next week in the Amateur Otaku, we're going to have a fantastic episode. A, dare I say, disastrous episode. Isaac, what are we talking about next week?
Yeah, what are we talking about next week? Because my memory is just shut down. So you have
Okay, so let me get this straight. I went through these lengths of preparing your intro, and you just don't know what we're talking about.
I have lost my thread.
You know what? If it wasn't because it says Mad Dog Isaac on your name, you know what? That's cool. So we're watching. This is awesome. So guys, so next week we're gonna do season 1 of The Disastrous Life of Psyche K.
Oh,
Get it?
So my self-biography.
Wow. Yes, we're gonna do Isaac's anime version of his life because he's an all-powerful being in high school. So, so we're gonna do The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. We're gonna do the first season. We're gonna watch it and we're gonna cover and review it here at the Amateur Otaku. If you've seen this anime, let us know what you think. If you haven't seen it, get ready. We're going to have an awesome show for you next week, and we're going to cover the ins and outs of this show so that way you can discover if this show is right for you and if something you should check out. Huh?
You can find this movie on Netflix, and you can also find Disastrous Life of Psyche K also on Netflix. So you can join us next week.
Thank you for mentioning that, Isaac, and that's something very awesome. I applaud Netflix for this. Like, Netflix has gone out of its way to acquire the streaming rights for a lot of these anime movies, live action specifically. So I applaud that to Netflix because they have the Full Metal Alchemist movie, no matter how bad it is. They have the Iliac, the Wolf Brigade movie. They have this one. They have the Mob Psycho horrible show. But they have Kakegurui. I think they have the live action Kakegurui too, right? The gambling anime. Like they have
action Kakegurui anime.
There's a live action Kakegurui movie, I think.
That's completely gone over my radar then because I had no idea about that one.
Yeah. So if you want to watch Bleach, is on Netflix and it's worldwide. That's how Isaac saw it in Sweden. That's how I saw it in Florida. So, and also that's where. So on Netflix, you can find Bleach, the live action movie. On Netflix, they also have, I think, the first 2 seasons of the anime.
No, they have not.
Okay, well, in the States, they do. They don't have it in Sweden?
Not that I know.
Okay, so we'll make sure to put in the descriptions where you can check out the anime. So don't worry, Isaac. Just give me the information, and then we're going to make sure that when we post the video on the descriptions, you'll get a link to Netflix so you can log in and watch Bleach. And we'll also give you a list, just like we did with Darling and the Franxx. We'll give you a list of where you can watch the Bleach anime, both in Europe and in the States. Because if you love the movie, you're going to want to watch the anime. And if you like the anime, you're going to want to watch the movie. So go watch Bleach and enjoy it. It is recommended and approved by the Amateur Otaku. And get ready.
You can see it on CrunchyRoll here in Sweden.
Okay, cool. It's in CrunchyRoll.
My guess is that it will also be available in other states.
Yeah, here Bleach is everywhere. Like you can find it. The entire series is on Hulu, and then a portion of it is on Netflix. But then, of course, you have it also in Crunchyroll, Verve, and stuff like that. But we'll give you the links of where you can watch it. And if you want to join us for next week, go watch the first season of the Disastrous Life of Psyche K. We're going to cover season 1, and we can't wait to do it with you. Isaac, let's say goodbye to our good peeps. Where can they find you, my brother, in the webs?
You can find me in the Twitter at Emblemaaniac, and you can find my work at Woven Entertainment.
Sweet. And you can find me on Twitter at the Scarlet Fan 52. That's where I tweet my daily life stuff and tweet my thoughts about anime, movies, and everything. The Scarlet Fan is my name because I love The Flash, but I love all kinds of media. And of course, I love anime. That's why I'm part of the Amateur Otaku. If you want to follow us, follow the podcast on Twitter at Amateur Otaku Pod. We keep you posted on everything that we're going to be covering, when the videos come up, when the podcast goes live, where the live streams happen. We also, from time to time, we'll share polls and share our thoughts with you guys and put feelers out there so you can tell us what you think about different things. So we can cover what you guys want us to cover because, yes, for the longest time, we've done the Amateur Otaku Podcast. We're almost at 40 episodes. Isaac, it's awesome. We're almost at 40 episodes, and we're recording weekly. We always cover anime that we're interested in, that we've seen, or that look interesting. But we want to get to a point where we get recommendations from you guys. If there's an anime out there that you think that we should watch, recommend it to us. If you recommend it, we're going to watch it. And if we watch it, we cover it. If there's an anime that you don't know if you're interested in, let us know. We'll watch it for you and cover it for you and let you find and help you find out if it's right for you. Because the goal of the Amateur Otaku is to introduce you to great anime, to enjoy anime with you, and show you what anime is all about. And to build that community of people that love this medium of anime, which is a medium that a lot of people are missing out on. But there's so much goodness in it that... I don't know, Isaac. That's why we're mad, aren't we?
Yeah. And also, side note, we are going to link in the description of the site that lists all the legal streaming service that is worldwide in case you can't access Hulu, CrunchyRoll, you name it.
Yeah. Because one of the biggest things is we want you guys to be able to watch what we talk about. Because why talk about it if you guys can watch it, right?
Yeah. But since... certain the streaming sites are more often region locked. We can't check those ourselves, which is why we link the site that list them below.
Right, so you can verify all the different options because hopefully at least one of the options will work for you in whichever part of the world you are.
Exactly.
So, guys, it's been a pleasure. Send us your recommendations to at Amateur Otaku Pod on Twitter, or you can send us an email at amateurOtakuRTF@gmail.com. Till next time, guys, have it awesome. Peace.
Hello.